Okay, seventh graders, so here is kind of a demonstration as if we were kind of around the table in the art room to help you understand kind of your next steps. So first off, you need a piece of paper for copy paper and pencil and eraser, okay? So you guys can take a chance or fold your paper one of two ways. You could do it the long way, okay? So taking almost like what we used to use the expression, the hot dog way, okay? So you can take your copy paper or your colored paper and do it the long kind of skinny way for your design, okay? Or you can take your paper and do it what we used to call the hamburger way, which is the other direction, okay? So for our Polish designs, they are symmetrical. So we fold it in half and then our drawing, our design goes right on the folded side of the piece of paper, okay? Filling up kind of a big chunk of it. Now I've already started a couple different designs and I want to kind of go through these with you, okay? So I have a long skinny one. I'm going to have to kind of do that to the side the way that my paper or my hover cam kind of collects or does the paper. I can go this direction, but this way it's going to kind of get cut off, okay? So you have, I started one of the ideas there. So with your Polish paper cutout, go ahead and I've myself looked through some examples online to kind of get the different shapes and the different ideas. So with both of mine, I've started a very simple way where I've done just a tree. So again, this is the folded line, and then you need some sort of base at the bottom, and then the tree comes up and around whatever kind of shape you want for the tree. And then in the middle here, we're going to start doing some more design, okay? And then from the base, we have some sort of animal, plant, tree, that would be the traditional designs that we see in those Polish paper cutouts. Here's my other one that I've started, and this one I've gone the other direction. So you're seeing my whole piece of paper this time. And again, here is my folded edge, and I have my ground here coming up into just a kind of a simple tree there, okay? And then inside of the trunk, I did a maybe thicker trunk. And eventually this stuff right here that I'm coloring, those are like shapes like we would see on a snowflake that we would cut out those shapes. So next week, I'm gonna cut out these shapes when I do the next part of my project, cutting that out, okay? Again, from the edges. So here's my main part. I've already done some designs and stuff in here. And again, this here, later, all this white in the background is all going to be cut out. Now, something that I still need to do with my project is I still need to create something down here in this shape. So maybe it's a rooster, maybe it's a plant, maybe it's a dove, depending on what you would like to do. So I think I'm going to do some sort of curly tree here coming up. Oh, I'm gonna have to do a little erasing here because all of this, there are no lines. All of it needs to be interconnected. So over here, maybe I'm gonna come down and do symmetrical over here where I come back, coming up. Okay, and these are kind of traditional designs. So on this part, maybe now I'm going to do a rooster or something at that point, okay? So maybe I do the idea of the legs coming up and the main body with the beak coming down and maybe the top part there. And then maybe coming up with the actual tails for the rooster, okay? So now looking at this though, this all needs to be one shape. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of erasing here. So right here, I need to erase that because that is all one shape. I need to erase right here because this is all one shape that's interconnected. And when I go to cut, I'm gonna cut around and down and around the whole thing. So looking up here too, I need to erase here because that's all one shape. This is all one shape. All those details inside, we don't actually see it because just like the directions said, this is all a silhouette, okay? So looking at this then, I have kind of one design, one shape there. This eventually is all gonna get cut out. This will get cut out. This will get cut out. Now, if you are doing any of these interior shapes that you see here, here, and here, just be careful that you're gonna maybe have to use a sharper scissors or poke through to get that idea. So your project then for this is kind of dark in here. Let me maybe get a little bit more light to see what's going on the project, okay? Maybe that helps a little bit. So going back to my other one here, the thought process you need to do for the tree here. So here's the tree trunk. And from the top here, that needs to go right across the fold there, and then a thicker line to come down into the trunk of the tree. So now right here, I can start doing a design that's connected. Everything here has to be connected to each other. I can pick up one part of this project once I have it cut, and it's all going to be interconnected, okay? So up here, I'm going to do some sort of design into the tree here. So not quite sure what I want. Maybe I want to do some big leaves coming over. And maybe at the top here, maybe I want to do maybe a flower, okay, because I have my bird kind of down here. So maybe I want to do the idea of a tulip. Remember, this is going to be symmetrical. So in the middle there, it's going to be the two sides, okay? The one thing I haven't done on either one of the projects that you still need to do is you need to do one of those fringes, okay? So I need to do on the outside some sort of fringe on the outside of my tree. Now, obviously, when we cut this out, this is all going to be the back side, okay? So maybe this direction, I come down a little bit here. It's kind of hard with my shadows and my lighting. Okay, and then obviously this is all going to be one shape. So this part that I did out here, that's all going to be one shape that next week I'm going to cut out, okay? So you can add more details to this also, but like on my tree trunk here, maybe I want to do something right here that I'm going to cut out a shape later, like we maybe see on some of the designs. So your job for this week is to decide on what direction you want to do your paper. Is it going to be the more kind of fat way or the tall, skinny way? Okay, like you see there. And then using some of the designs on Google Images and such, you need to draw your base. Like we see here, your base with your main tree or your main plant. There's many different examples over on Google Classroom or Google Images. And then what's going to be in the middle for your objects? What type of traditional Polish objects and animals and plants and trees are you going to use in your design? So plenty of examples. Take a look at them, just like mine. I kind of was inspired by ones on my screen as I'm working. And you need to do the fringes and all those things, just like the directions I have on the slide on your Google Slides. If you have questions, go ahead and do private comments to me. If you have questions, we could even do a Google Meet where you show me your project or what you're struggling with on your project, okay? So your homework for this week with art class is to draw your design on your paper. It should take you anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to do that, just like we're in class. And then next week, we will be cutting everything out. And I will show you another video of how we're going to cut this out so we don't make mistakes and we don't cut it apart into different pieces, okay? So again, your homework is getting copy paper or whatever colored paper you have, folding it in half, and then on that folded half, you're going to draw some sort of Polish design like we see on those traditional folk arts from the different regions in Poland. So take care, you guys. I would like to see some of your examples. So go ahead and email some of these to me. Take a picture so I see your progress that you are working on. So by Friday, I need to see a picture taken of your half sheet of paper like this with your design all finished. So by Friday at 3 o'clock, you need to have your drawing completely done. And through your Google camera or through your cell phone, sometimes it's easier to do it on your cell phone, take a picture and you need to email this to me for your project directions, okay? So take Wednesday and Thursday. Those are not religion days. Take those as art days and get this done. And then these are to be turned into me by Friday at 3 o'clock through email or attaching it to the assignment too. So right now on Google Classroom, you have this slide presentation that you're watching this video on. If you go to view your assignments, you can actually add a picture, just like you can add a document. So if you take this picture through your Google camera, your Chromebook camera, it becomes a download on your computer, and then you can actually add that to your assignment. Let's do it that way instead. So please do not email me. I would like you to take this picture on your Google Chromebook camera through your downloads. Then you're going to attach that as a file to this assignment on your 7th grade arts classroom for the Polish paper cutouts. If you have questions, private comment me again, or we can set up a Google Meet if you have other questions for your art project. So step 1, due by Friday at 3 o'clock. Take care, 7th graders.